Some good episode for you today. Today we're going to talk about the fact that it's payday and kind of what's happening and why it's happening, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin a little bit. So specifically, the last few days, my portfolio has gone up quite a bit. Hopefully, you've seen the same thing in yours. I didn't reset this yesterday, so we're basically looking at about 13,000 gain in 2 days, which is a beautiful thing. But for those who have really subscribed to this channel, watched these videos for a long time, we understand that these are kind of the glory muscles. There's the biceps and the pecs and the abs and things like that. And people look and go, oh, this is great. These numbers are huge. This is amazing. But I don't really care too much about that. We look at the cost basis because that's where you're going to make your money. So for example, if you went out and bought Bitcoin now at 30,000 and said buy the dip and it goes back up to 60,000, you've doubled your money. Congratulations. But there's people that bought Bitcoin at 3,000. And so it's up at 30,000. They've 10x their money. And when it goes to 60,000, they're going to 20x their money. That is where you're going to make most of your money. And so lately, with the economy reopening, we see more of this happening. The cruise lines are, I think, the first early July. There's going to be the first cruise out of a U.S. port. It's coming out of Galveston. That's Royal Caribbean. They're still trying to get them out of Florida, out of Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and they're just kind of battling it out between the state of Florida, which banned vaccine passports, and the CDC, which requires them. So it's a game of chicken, and we'll see what happens with that. But I have a feeling Florida's probably going to win because Ron DeSantis, whether you like him or not, has more of a backbone than anybody in the federal government. So the question is, what is happening? So today's June 8th. It's about 12:50. You'll get this. I'm recording it right before the market closes, but you'll get it right afterward. California is going to open up in 1 week. So there's going to be no capacity restrictions. People don't have to wear masks anymore. No social distancing. No restrictions whatsoever. It's going to be fully open. And so you're going to see California, obviously, the sixth largest economy in the world. You're going to see things blow up. The movies are going to start to come out because California's a massive, massive revenue generator for movies, and they're not going to release these big budget movies until California is open. Major League Baseball is going to be fully open. It's funny, the Padres here are doing opening day June 17th and they're having fireworks and everything they plan to do on opening day, but they're treating it as opening day. So we see a lot of optimism. We see a lot of things opening up, and I still think the revenue for the second and third quarter is going to be through the frickin' roof due to the demand shock that we talked about in prior episodes. In fact, I went to Home Depot today because I had to go get a couple things to fix a leaky faucet in my fridge, and I remembered, hey, they don't have mask mandates, so I just walked in without a mask, and I was probably one of the only people in there without a mask, but it was fine. And it was like, wow, this is what it's like to be back to normal, and you don't have to be all weird and have everything covered. So that being said, I was driving home and I saw these two people driving in a Tesla, and they both had surgical masks on, or N95s or something, I forget. And I'm thinking, that's just the dumbest, sheepiest thing ever. Like, what are they afraid of getting COVID from each other in the same car? Presumably they're in the same household. Who knows? But anyway, so we'll take a look at the movement basically for the last day or two. Let me close this down. All right. So we'll take a look at the movement for the last days, and we'll look at so Dogecoin and Bitcoin. We're going to talk about crypto in a little bit. Those are the only ones that really went down to any great degree. The rest of them are either barely down or really not down at all. But as we go down for the last day or two, it's kind of a breadth. There's not really a distinct narrow pattern. We have HT, which is Ashford Hospitality Trust, is up 25%. That's the cousin of AINC, the one that I didn't buy. That kind of taught me a good lesson on that they're all going to go up at some point. Service Corporation, they do oil. Fuel Cell is obviously a battery charger. GameStop's the meme stock. Full House Resorts is hospitality and casinos. Velocity is the mortgage company, which is kind of interesting because a lot of people are probably looking to refi their mortgage, especially if they get a new job and things like that. AMC has obviously been up for a meme stock, but I think you're going to see them continue to go up as well, which just annoys the crap out of me because If I had known it was going to be sitting even at $54 a share, I would never have sold any of mine. But that's a prior video. I'm not going into that. Ebix is a game maker stock. Play is Dave and Buster's. Skills is like a video game technology company. It just goes across the board. There's no pattern, which tells you that it is a systemized gain and that all these stocks are going up across the board. We look at 2 days. Same thing. Dogecoin and Bitcoin are really the only ones that go down. RDI a little bit at 7%, but that's 2 days. That's not too big of a deal. And then we have the same cast of characters right here that we have over 1 day, which tells you most of it is from today. So with that being said, we'll take a look at our stocks, particularly the red ones, and then we'll take a look at the top performers. Cinemark is about to go in the black, especially when these movies come out. You're going to see a big jump there, I think. Corsair, the gaming one, is barely down. That'll be up. But this one kind of doesn't move, and then it just jumps up massively. So once this has a good 20% daily gain, we'll probably sell that one off, take the gain and move it. Fuel Cell was up at 40% down. It's 22. Future FinTech is a little bit of a laggard. They were at 50%. Now they're at 40. Fubo was like 45% down. It's now at 20. That thing's moving in a great direction. And again, it's pretty much a 100% buy. It's an 88% buy on Benzinga. Next ID is one that, again, went down under $1. It's just barely under $1 right now, but it's moving in the right direction, down 18%. Penn National Gaming is going to jump up, especially when football season starts. You're going to see that, and you're going to see the Hall of Fame Resorts one right here take off as well when football season starts as well. Again, you have 2 Hall of Fame inductions in July, which means you're going to see a massive, and not only do you have the demand shock that we talked about, but you're going to have 2 times as many people going to Canton to go see those Hall of Fame inductions. Let's see. And then we have Verint, which is a 100% buy rating. That's the video game, like a technology company. That one will go up, over time. That's just quality stock. I don't even see selling that whatsoever. So moving that in the right direction, we'll take a look at our sectors. We'll take a look at travel is up 110%. Entertainment, this one's going to be up a lot. It's only up 10% now. Oil's up 250 roughly. Casino stocks are up 134. Let's see, Biden stocks are about dead even between these two, but you're going to see both these jump up. This will be in the black very soon. And the other stocks, and again, it's offset by Signet, but it's only down 1%. So things are moving in the right direction. And then crypto is down 2, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So overall top performers as we see them right now. Try to put them in order, but it's not guaranteed to be totally in order. Caesars Entertainment's up 500%, which is just beautiful. I just love that sentence. Crestwood Equities and oil stock up 500%. PVAX and oil stock up 500%. Signet Jewelers is up 876 or 856, which is amazing. Let's see here. Every, the Vegas stock is up 400%, which is just another beautiful thing. And we'll take a look at Azul, the Brazilian airline, and Bremer Resorts to Travel, like the hospitality companies, up 205. So overall, we're up 120% off holdings. When we take consideration into the margin, we have 277,000 in holdings. If we sold it today, we'd clear 205,000 for a gain of 171,000. I don't even want to think about the taxes behind that. And the percent gain is 512. So I'm going to take most of this into next year. I do have to pay for 1 year of law school coming up probably in the next couple months. So we'll pay taxes on that for this year, but we'll try to take the other one into next year and make it a long-term capital gain because you pay less taxes on that. Lately, just some buys that I made. Bowling of America. I just figured there's going to be a bunch of people in rural America that want to go bowling again, and like that had to be hit majorly by COVID. So we bought that at $875. This one doesn't move a lot. It's at $881, so it's a little bit above what I bought it for. Red Robin, which we owned a long time ago, bought at $32.50. It's sitting at $34, so modest gain. Penn National Gaming, again, we want to lower our cost basis down. I think it was like $134, and now we got it down to $97. So we bought stock there at $78.50. It's sitting at $84.21, so not too bad on that side. Again, we eliminated all our limit orders because we're going to let that ride, especially after that lesson with AMC. And we have our bullpen stuff: Fubo, Texas Hospitality, Dogecoin, Ryman Properties, Hotel Properties, and Sabre. Sabre being the flight reservation technology platform that pretty much everybody uses. So, with that being said, we're going to let it ride today. We're not doing any more buys. We do have a buy listing for Future FinTech at 290, but it's sitting here at 326, so it's not going to fill anytime soon. So we'll just leave that one alone. Again, we will only buy when it's in the red: Dogecoin and Bitcoin. So we'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll open that one up a little bit, and we'll talk about Bitcoin as well on what's going on with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin tumbled 12%. I heard about this morning after U.S. authorities claw back most of Colonial Pipeline's crypto ransom. So basically what happened is they paid, I want to say, between $4 and $5 million Colonial Pipeline did to the hackers of DarkSide, which sounds like something out of Mr. Robot. Sounds exactly like something out of Mr. Robot. And basically, because it's on the blockchain, there was a task force set up with the federal government. Yeah, it's the Ransomware and Digital Extortion Task Force. They were able to recover $2.3 million of the $4.3 million ransom. So most of it, statistically, more than half of it. And so what happened is Bitcoin, having a reputation for being anonymous, the fact that they got this money back means that it's not anonymous as they think. That being said, it's not. If you just, let's say for example, somebody paid you $4.3 million and in Bitcoin, it's going to be on the blockchain. They're going to be able to see the to and from wallet on there. And if that's all you do, like if you just take that $4.3 million and transfer it to your bank account, yeah, they're going to find it really quickly. It's going to be really easy for them to find it. But those who are pretty adept and sophisticated with using Bitcoin wallets understand there's tumblers and some other things that you can do to basically anonymize and make those transfers out of your wallet a lot harder to find, right? So anyway, maybe they took the 4.3 million in Bitcoin and it's a certain number of Bitcoin. So let's just say I'm just going to make up a number. It's not going to add up. But let's say it's 100 Bitcoin, right? Then, if you say I want a ransom of 104 Bitcoin, then it's easier to find 104. But if you say I want to be paid in 8 different, or let's just say 10 different iterations or 10 different payments of 10 Bitcoin each, it's going to be a lot harder to find it because there's probably 10 Bitcoin being transferred on the blockchain all the time. And then you use things like tumblers where it basically washes the money within the wallet, and the actual wallet company will send it out of random wallets that aren't really the same as your wallet ID to other people. So you have it going into door number 1, but the company that your wallet company has it come out of door number 604. And they might, let's say you have 100 Bitcoin that got sent into your wallet, it'll send in 100 separate 1 Bitcoin transfers out of random wallets and to go other places. So it basically masks where it's going out. It makes it really hard to do. So I'm guessing the dark side people didn't take security seriously with Bitcoin. But anyway, Bitcoin's reputation took a hit because of that. And so with that, we'll take a look at, this is the dip that you see from kind of the ransom being taken back on that point. But overall, we've talked about Bitcoin. It was up at, where is this at? 62,000, where is it? 63,600, and it's now down to 32. If it goes below 30, let's take it as the week here. It will load up shortly. All right, eventually it'll load up, but we have it here. It's at 31,700 is, I think, the bottom of where it hit. But if it goes under 30, we'll look to buy that. Because again, if it goes up to 60,000, it's not life-changing money, but it's enough where it'll double your money. All right, so this is what we have for the week. So the lowest it got was down to 31,100. If it goes under 30, I'll definitely look into buying Bitcoin. So one last thing we'll talk about today, and this is just my skepticism and dislike of politicians. So we talked about California being open next week. No capacity limits, no mask mandates, no color-coded system, nothing like that, right? So all the bureaucrats are going to not lose their job, but lose their function. But do you really think these politicians can give up power that easily? No. It would have been really easy for California to do the smart thing, to open up the economy like Texas, Ohio, Florida, all these other states have done. But did they do that? No. They're going to sit here and say after June 15th, there is California workplace mask rules because California Department of Health and Division of Occupational Safety and Health, or Cal OSHA, they basically are requiring that if every single person in a workplace, again, not the patrons, but the workplace. So let's say that you're a grocery store or you're a restaurant. As a customer, you walk in, you don't need a mask. But unless every single person, they have proof that every single employee there has been vaccinated, everybody has to wear a mask. So it's just so stupid. So starting June 15th, everyone in an indoor workplace must wear a mask if there is at least one person unvaccinated. Which, by the way, if you're the only person that hasn't been vaccinated, this is just a quick way to make everybody hate you. And it's not even warranted, but it's just so stupid. If everyone is vaccinated, masks can be removed. By the way, that is literally the definition of Big Brother. So masks are not required outside except at events with 10,000 or more attendees. So again, if you're at a baseball stadium, the employees outside have to wear a mask, which is really stupid. That's if you have a good team. But let's say you have a bad team, right? And your team sucks, and you're down at 8,000. In the same stadium, you don't have to wear a mask. So it's really, really stupid. Social distancing, workers have to stay at least 6 feet apart, even though that was debunked a few months ago. That whole 6 foot thing was debunked last year, if we're going to be honest. Until July 31st, even if they're vaccinated. So if they're vaccinated, what do you worry about? Just again, these people have to have a job and they have to justify their existence. Who has to supply masks? After July 31st, employees need to supply unvaccinated workers with respirators such as N95 masks. Businesses group said the requirement was overly burdensome and could take away masks from healthcare workers. And again, these are vaccinated workers, most likely, a lot of these. Vaccinated workers can wear standard disposable reusable masks and not respirators, said. So anyway, just so stupid. So how will employers confirm workers are vaccinated? Here, welcome to the Big Brother answer. They require employers to have documentation confirming that workers are fully vaccinated. Now, by the way, is there any other thing in the world where your employer can sit here and say, you can't work here unless you have the mumps vaccine or the rubella, or I think I'm pronouncing it right, or polio or whatever? No, because it's a HIPAA violation. So somebody's going to sue them, and they're going to say that you're violating HIPAA, which means your medical privacy, stating what, you're not allowed, the employer's not allowed to know anything about your health care or medical records. If you're going at work, go nearby the bathrooms or the kitchen. They're going to have all those disclosures on the wall, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Employers are not allowed to know anything about your medical record. So this one will be sued as a violation of federal HIPAA law. Anyway, how do the rules compare to recent CDC guidelines? They're stricter. The CDC said vaccinated people can remove masks and not socially distance because it's not a big deal. And the state agency says, well, we need to have a function and we need to have something to do, because if all of a sudden these things go away, then we have trouble justifying our job. So stupid. How could the rules change? They said the board may change the rules in the incoming weeks given the low case rates and availability of vaccines. Well, why would you change the rules with low case rates and availability of vaccines when right now, when they made the rules, they're low case rates and the vaccine's available to everybody? In fact, there's so many vaccines available, they're spending all their time trying to convince people who are, quote, vaccine hesitant to get a vaccine. So it's just so stupid. Now, what's really going to happen, what's going to govern it, is the next 3 words: Governor Gavin Newsom. Now, he said he wouldn't do this, but he said he could also issue an executive order to loosen the guidelines further, but didn't commit to any changes at a Friday press conference. I will tell you right now, dude's going to get recalled this year, okay? You come in and sit here and you say you're going to, open everything up, but then you allow these people to do that, and maybe he had a hand in it, maybe he didn't, I don't know. But anything that really lends itself to acting more like 2020 versus 2022, you're going to get recalled, dude. So, but then he has the biggest joke. He says it's an independent board and one has to be mindful of that. First of all, if you can override it with an executive order, it's not really an independent board. Duh. I mean, anybody that can add 2 plus 2 in their own head understands that. So, that being said, he said that he was committed to working with labor groups. That means lobbying and give me political donations so that I don't get recalled. That's how that means. And employers on the rule. So, again, the employer is giving him money. So, I want money from labor groups and I want money from large employers. We're not talking about Jim's Hardware. We're talking about Amazon. We're talking about Facebook. People with absolutely massive, deep pockets. So, that being said, even government has a hard time wrenching its claw off of your arm and letting go. But the market always guides things. Right now, we're in a good spot. We're sitting here at about 205,000. If we look at that over the last month even, we have a gain of $40,000 in the last month. We're up 23%. If we look at 3 months, we have a gain of 52,000. I like the other one better. 42,000 in a month is a beautiful thing. And even in the last week, we are up 20,000 as well. So things move in the right direction. I would not buy where things are at right now. Wait till you take the dip. I have my eye on Bitcoin, Dogecoin. Maybe I'll take a look at it. It's on my radar. But until we take a hit, we're not buying. We'll let these things rack up. And I don't have any sell orders right now just because I'm a little burned from AMC. But things are moving in the right direction. If you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, we'll talk to you soon. To get more information on the sales cheat code, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below. Also, down below in the video description, down there, there's a link that takes you to our website that gives you additional content, some additional freebies that we have, and gives you information on some programs that we have that have been proven to help people to make sales easy so that you can make the kind of money you want, live the lifestyle that you've always wanted, and not have to struggle in the process. And what might be the coolest thing of all is you don't have to put much effort into it. It truly is a cheat code that most people don't know about. And it's a cheat code that can change your life today. So click on the link below and let me help you start to experience these results starting right now.